This video started when I saw this tweet online. As I am Swedish and from this area, I decided to find out more about what happened and to see if I could reach the crash site myself. Due to its remote location and difficult terrain, some preparations had to be made as we headed towards Malmbäck, Småland. This is the story about Lieutenant Peter Nordström and the tragic J35 Draken accident in the Småland Bog. On the morning of November 30th, 1972, at 11:12 a.m., tragedy struck when a J35 Draken plane, piloted by Lieutenant Peter Nordström from the Airforce base in Malmslätt, Sweden, crashed into a bog located 3.5 kilometers south of Malmbäck. Lieutenant Nordström was an experienced pilot with a vast knowledge of the J35 Draken, having accumulated around 130 hours of flight time on this aircraft. The weather on that fateful day resembled typical late autumn conditions, with cloudy skies, slight humidity, an 8-knot wind, and an air temperature at 5 degrees centigrade. Lieutenant Nordström and two colleagues embarked on a practice session for fighter combat, commencing their flight from the F3 Air Force base in Malmslätt. During the exercise, Nordström executed a sharp right turn, entering a cloud, and attempted to transition from manual flight to instrument flight. However, he most likely encountered strong vestibular illusions, which disorientated him as a pilot, making it difficult to distinguish between up and down. As a result, at a speed of 1,090 km per hour, Lieutenant Nordström mistakenly perceived he was ascending when in reality he was descending straight into the bog. The Swede Hasse Edberg has written about the accident in the Småland newspaper and brings more details about what happened. Peter Nordström departed from Malmslätt with wingmen accompanying him. He was the second aircraft in the formation and maintained visual contact with his colleagues on their way to the practice area situated over Nässjö municipality, Malmberg. During the exercise, they switched roles, with Peter Nordström becoming the chased. The maneuver began with a right turn, during which Peter Nordström and the other pilots leveled out and ascended to create ample space in the practice area. However, for reasons unknown, Nordström entered the clouds and tragically nosedived vertically into the bog. The crash report corroborates this account. The accident commission concluded that Nordström's plane was at full throttle, traveling at 1,096 km per hour when it crashed into the bog. Due to the nature of the swing-free bog, which is quite deep, locating and recovering the wreckage proved challenging. The searchers encountered difficulties, with the bog seemingly swallowing objects inserted into the ground. As the years pass, more wreckage might resurface due to the gas buildup in the bog. However, presently a substantial portion of the plane remains submerged. The accident is considered unique as despite extensive efforts, the remains of Lieutenant Peter Nordström's aircraft have not been adequately recovered. In contrast to other incidents where crashed planes were eventually found, Peter Nordström's plane has largely remained inaccessible in the bog's depth, adding to the unique nature of the tragedy. The remains of Lieutenant Nordström is still not recovered. The only remains found is his right hand. With modern equipment and machinery, people interested in the accident thinks it's highly likely that the remains could be fully recovered. On a windy July morning, we set off to find the crash site. Deep into the forest of Småland, we were helped by GPS coordinates and slowly found our way towards a place we could park. Then it was off to foot for about half a kilometer into the forest and later on the swing-free bog.
Trying to find the crash site. Should be somewhere out here on the open area. Getting closer to the crash site. We have some GPS coordinate.
And then we found it, far out on the bog. What was just a small hole in 1972 has become a huge hole now, more than a 15 by 15 meter area. Parts from the wreckage is constantly floating up to the surface due to the gases in the bog. During the first 12 years of the J35 Draken flying in the Swedish Air Force, a total of 59 aircraft were lost and 22 pilots died. The unique thing about this story is that Lieutenant Nordström is the only one that was never recovered. A lot of the accidents were due to human factors, but also component failures, mainly engine issues like fuel pumps, fire indications, and fuel system issues. It's a really sad story, and all my condolences goes to the family of the pilot, Peter Nordström. Thank you for watching, and have a great day wherever you are. Bye now.